सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, samajis, satsangis sitting with us around the world at this moment in 704 places and in two-way connection 31 places in 207 cities in 30 countries. I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. The cities I am able to see in two-way connection are Ohio, North Carolina, Atlanta, St. Louis, Miami, Seattle, Vancouver, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Redondo Beach, San Jose, and Calgary, and United UK, Nakalpan, Mexico, and Klang Center, Malaysia, and again one more center, Amres, Mexico, Singapore, Guadeloupe. Sorry, and some more, Philadelphia, I think I missed. And Taramangalam. I think I welcome you all with my love and blessings. Today I'll continue on the yesterday's sutra. The subject is how to walk on water. This sutra is helpful not only just to walk on water, to walk on the air, to walk on the sky and leave the body when you want. This samyama is more to decide the time of your leaving body independently than any other reason. Let me read the sutra. Utana Jayajala Utana Jayajala Panka Kantaka Adishu Ashanga Ugrantischa. Swami Vivekananda translates this sutra as, when he has conquered the current called Udana, the yogi does not sink in water or in swamps. He can walk on thorns and so forth and can die at will. Swami Prabhavananda translates this sutra as, by controlling the nerve currents that govern the lungs and the upper part of the body, the yogi can walk on water and swamps or on thorns and similar objects, and he can die at will. Swami Sachidananda translates as, by mastery over the Udana nerve center, nerve current, the upward vital air, one accomplishes levitation over water, swamps, thorns, etc. and can leave the body at will. Bhagavan Osho translates this sutra as by mastering the current udana, the yogi is able to levitate and pass without contact over water, mire and thorns. The sutra is basically explaining the technique and method, process for reducing the weight of your body so that you can walk on water, swamps, thorns, fire, on anything, finally, ultimately on the air. And I want all of you to know, especially the international audience who are watching, don't think it is a big miracle. If you go to Indian village, in every village you will find like this one person. I challenge. India has at least 50,000 people today. At least 50,000 people today who can do this miracle casually. Just yesterday I saw in the internet, one lady, village lady in Ooty area, she stands on the knives and gives oracles. She gets into an altered state of awareness, just stands on the knife. Please understand, not even an ordinary knife, a sharp sword. If you just put your finger, it will cut. That kind of a sword, not only she stands on it, she's jumping and dancing. And there are 2-3 communities. Even the ordinary men in their community, when they get into that altered state of consciousness trance, they stand on the knife, on the sword, and start giving blessings or predicting. All the Karuppar temples, Karuppar is a deity, guardian deity. For some of the community is the Kuladevata. In all Karuppar temples, the elders and priests, when they get into that altered state of awareness, they stand on the sword, walking on thorns, lying on thorns, or walking on the water. These are all not miracles. It is just a day-to-day life for us. In India, if you go to villages, every village you will find at least one person doing this. Because thousands of years before, we developed the science for it. It's a very simple science. It's a very simple science. And not only that, fortunately we created an ambience. See, when 5 kids swim, all the other kids who are watching these 5 kids swim automatically feel the not only inspiration, even their muscle memory awakens to the art of swimming. They'll just jump into the water and start swimming. Same way, when you see 10 people walking on the water, or walking on the sword, walking on the knife, suddenly the biomemory of this extraordinary power will be awakened in your body and you will start doing it. Creating an energy field where different biomemories of extraordinary powers are awakened in human beings is the job of an incarnation. See, my job is nothing but creating again an energy field where I roll the ball. At least few thousand people I initiate into this extraordinary power by the training and the initiation, and make them experience. Once they experience, it is in the very air. It becomes an energy of that very space. Whoever comes inside, all their biomemory gets awakened to that experience and they start radiating. Again and again people tell me, Swamiji, when we come to the ashram, our body becomes healthy. When we come to the ashram, suddenly our mind is calm, we don't feel like going back. Naturally you experience levitation now. Because the energy field for this kind of extraordinary experiences and powers, energy field plays a major role. Within 1 month, I'll make some of my ashramites to levitate on the water and show you guys. It's not a big thing. It's a simple Udana based pranayama, nothing else. Please understand. As I described yesterday, in yogic tradition, air flow is 5, but in Siddha tradition, it is 10. Siddhas are trying to get deeper into the airflow system. So I'll explain the 5 and 10 both. In yogic tradition, prana, vyana, udana, apana, samana. In Siddha tradition, I'll read those names and explain. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, and Nagan, Kurman, Kritaran, Devadattan, Dhananjayan. These are the 5 more pranas. It's very clearly described what is how the actions of this Dasa prana happens, and anyhow, Siddha tradition detailed way explains on all these Dasa prana and how to purify them. Let me come to the straight technique. Technique to walk on the water, to walk on the thorns, to walk on the fire, or to stand or dance on the sword. Only thing I request you, do not practice without my direct supervision, because I don't want you guys to take the risk in over enthusiasm. But anyhow, I am putting the technique on record so that it doesn't get destroyed or it stays in the planet Earth forever. Let me describe the technique. In this technique, 3 things need to be remembered. 1, your stomach need to completely clean. Means when you practice this technique, you needed to take enema, the traditional enema. There are 2 ways. 1, you can take the Siddha herbs, like a kadukkai. In Tamil they call it kadukkai. Or there are medicines to cleanse your stomach, Siddha herbs. Don't go for laxatives. They don't do the job exactly. Go for the traditional Siddha herbs. Like kadukkai, Tamil they call it vilakkennai. Castor oil. Castor oil and banana, they'll mix and swallow. First, your stomach need to be cleansed. Please understand. The man who maintains his stomach clean will be yogi. He cannot have worries. If you are having worries, be very clear. Subtle part of whatever you eat and gets digested, the excreta, gets settled inside your intestine. That subtle part becomes dry and hard. That becomes kind of heavy on your system. That toxins are responsible for all your worries. If your stomach is clean, two things will be there in you. One, no worries. Second, your eyelids will not flutter too much. It will be very straight. In normal light, your eyes will not flutter too much. Your eyelids will not flutter too much. You will have a clear, straight vision. Bright eyesight, the rose will look more rosier, green will look more greener. Then your stomach is clean. Once in a month, if you take this castor oil and banana, maybe 2 teaspoons castor oil, your worries will come down. Actually, if you are worrying too much, if you have the habit of worrying too much, try this once a month. 2 teaspoons castor oil and banana, 2 bananas. Your stomach will be cleansed. Or you can take that Siddha, Kadkai, Legium and all that. First thing, your stomach need to be completely clean. Second, please understand, don't do this technique before cleaning your stomach. It is dangerous. Unless the stomach is clean, your udana, the upper air energy, cannot be fully awakened. If you try to do this technique without cleaning the stomach, the danger of stomach upset and constipation is there. You may get into, the body heat will increase and constipation may happen. So, first thing, cleaning the stomach. Second, this is the technique, exact technique. And third, there is one more instruction to be followed after practicing the technique. First, stomach cleansing. Second, visualize, it should be done morning and evening. Morning before sunrise, evening after sunset. Visualize your whole throat is filled with poison, like a Shiva's alagala. How the Shiva has poison in his throat. Visualize your whole throat as poison. Try to throw that away. Not only through the nose, even through the mouth or eyes and ears. Feel through all the holes. 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears and mouth. How many? 2, 4, 6, 7. Through 7 holes, exhale the poison. Throw the poison out. Visualize in your stomach, in your neck, in your throat, you are stuck with heavy poison, and throw the poison out through all the 7 holes. With high speed, go on throwing out the poison. First day, do it 108 times. You will be able to do only 108 times, first day. Second day, maybe increase 108 into 150. Within 10 days, you will be able to do full 21 minutes. Full 21 minutes. You see, don't bother about inhaling. It's a very powerful pranayama. You can't call it pranayama, you can call it udanayama. It's a very powerful udanayama. Inhaling will be done automatically by your body. It is one more thing you need to understand. This is the technique to start breathing through eyes and the ears. I have seen yogis breathing through eyes. They can move the thread through the eyes. It's a very powerful pranayama. Again, I wanted all of you to understand. Don't practice it without my direct physical supervision, because it's a very powerful pranayama. Just through all the holes, not only through the mouth and nose. Through mouth and nose you will be physically blowing out, but visualize you are blowing out through the eyes and ears also, because it will start happening in 2-3 days. Intensely have the Rudraksh Mala so that you can count 108 times. First 2-3 days don't do more than 108 times. First train your body. 108 is enough. Maybe after second day or third day you can increase it to 150. Then 200. Like this, slowly increase. To master this process, when I say master, 21 minutes you will be able to do continuously. You can have 1 or 2 second break for the inhaling to happen, that's all. You can't give more than 5 seconds break. Then you have broken the pranayama. Within 10 days, I can say, you will be able to do this continuous 21 minutes. Automatically you will see, within 21 days itself you will experience the psychological levitation and physical levitation. It's a guaranteed technique for levitation. If you are having a big problem that you are not levitating, first thing you will be person with a lot of worries. And now one more worry, I am not levitating. So all you need is the cleansing of the stomach and this Udana Yama. Please understand, you should not call this as pranayama. This is Udana Yama. Balancing Udana. Maybe within 3 months, you will be able to raise and go inside the water, come up and go inside without creating ripples. The practice of 5 months is more than enough to float on the water. In Padmasana, already I am training one set of brahmacharis to float on the water. Actually, once I initiated some few hundred people into levitation. Now suddenly you see anybody who comes and sits inside the group, their biomemory just like that picks it up. Same way, I'll make this levitating on the water, floating on the water also as a matter of energy field, not matter of practice. See, all the great things are matter of practice in the initial level. Then it becomes matter of energy. Then it becomes matter of life. I'll create this energy field. The enlightenment will become just matter of life here. Not just this levitation or floating on the water or all these things. The enlightenment will become very air, energy field, and life in this space. So somebody comes inside the ashram, become a brahmachari or a sannyasi or rishi, 1 year they become enlightened, that's it. Because it is in the very air. You are not enlightened. We don't live like this here. I am already successful in making many things as the lifestyle in this campus. I'll create a beautiful energy field where enlightenment becomes lifestyle. It is possible. It is possible. Actually, you are not resisting enlightenment that much. A little bit of fears and the initial insecurity, that is where you are stuck. If you just break that initial insecurity, and that's all. You are not even really don't want enlightenment or arrogant. No, the problem is not too complicated. When the enlightenment becomes biomemory, it will just like that catch it. See, now, to initiate somebody into levitation is not a problem at all for us. That is why I am saying in this inner awakening program, anybody who comes and sits here for 21 days, 21 days you have to sit here, no way. And simply you will start levitating. If you don't levitate, you look like a fool. Huh? So just not to look like a fool, you will say, better let me levitate. And not only that, biomemory also experiences peer pressure. Please understand. This is one of the worst thing happened in the modern day. Especially, I am handling lot of these problems teenagers face. So many parents come and cry. Many of the problems of the teenagers problem is, in the modern day, the energy field of the ordinary society has become such, they become physically matured by 10, 11, whether boys or girls. It is not individual's mistake. The energy field, biomemory also gets influenced by the peer pressure. If the physical maturity age can be postponed at least till 14 or 15, the child will have so much of physical and mental maturity. Oh God, I can say so much of physical and mental maturity. The Vedic tradition, Tantra literature say 21 is the physical maturity age. 21, understand? That also that individual decides, on this day I am going to become physically matured. There will be a ceremony. It is the individual freedom. By 21 they will complete all these Yoga Sutra, Brahma Sutra, Kama Sutra, all these lessons. At the age of 21, the student will decide whether he wants to live a Grihastha life or the sannyas life. And then he will fix a certain date and get physically matured. Give the instruction to the body, he will experience that physical maturity. Tradition says there are clear techniques. Women is supposed to get physically matured in the Shukla Bhaksha, means that time from new moon to the full moon. These sciences are all available. This is not an ordinary science. Just you can postpone your death. You can simply live without depression. The idea of depression will not exist in you. Let these Indian donkeys. I'll prove now. Already I am proving. At least few hundred disciples, my disciples, will just stop the periods. The women disciples. It's a technique. It's just a technique. And same way men disciples. Just they can stop the semen production. It's your will. There are enough. See, without any chemical being added to your body, that is not the thing which I am saying. Nothing will be added from outside to inside, just through a simple practical pranayama and proper meditations. You can just be beyond the physical loss of energy. How do you think our masters and ancestors created the extraordinary, brilliant, intelligent souls? My own guru, Kuppammal, she only created 4 eggs in her womb and all 4 became child. That's it. She had periods in her whole life only 4 months. Please understand, she lived till 90s. Only 20 years before she passed away, she left the body. When I was 15, I think she passed away. 15 or 14, she left the body. The science was available. She became physically matured at the age of 21 after marriage. Just 4 months. In the next spread over maybe some 6-7 years. Only 4 times. Just to give birth to 4 kids, that's all. It's a science. So much of physical and mental suffering can be avoided. No chemical is required from outside, not even Siddha herbs. Just simple meditation process. I'll prove all this scientifically, not only on my body, of course, my body is already happening, that is different, but on the bodies of my disciples. It's a clear science. They will all go through a proper medical checkup and the medical science will be shaken. It is possible. Let me come back to the Udana Samyama. Samyama and the Udana Nadi. Activating this Udana like this at least 5 months will make you mastery. You will have the mastery over your body weight, the levitation on the water, and levitation on the thorns. If you come to Kumbh Mela, you will see hundreds of sadhus sitting on the thorns without any clothes. Please understand, without any clothes. If you come to Kumbh Mela, you will see thousands of sadhus lying on the thorns, or sitting on the thorns, or standing on the thorns, or walking on the water, floating in the Ganges. This is the Samyama. And the third part, when you wanted to complete this Samyama, means stop the practice, you have to again do it very slowly. You have to take lot of milk. Please understand, not only cow's milk, buffalo milk. Buffalo milk and cow's milk, you need to consume a lot. When you stop this Samyama, when you stop doing this Udanayama practice, your body needs to adjust and settle to the normal routine. Please understand. After you master the samyama and able to float on the water, mastered these miracles, when you want to stop this udanayama process, that morning 21 minute, evening 21 minute, you need to consume every day at least 2-3 liter buffalo milk and cow milk, so that your body settles down to the normal flow, that stopping the udanayama does not disturb you. So I am giving you the essence now. 3 instructions. 1, first cleaning the stomach through the castor oil and banana or the kadukka, siddha herb. Siddha herb. Through this you need to cleanse your stomach first. Maybe 3-4 days you need to cleanse. You will have loose motion and the bright eyes, no worry. That is the symptom that you are clean. Your stomach is clean. Second, the technique. Before sunrise, after sunset, you need to practice. Visualize as if your whole throat is filled with a poison and try to throw that poison out through the nostrils and mouth, ears and eyes. You need to do it with open eyes. Third instruction, when you want to stop, you should gradually stop by taking lot of buffalo milk and cow milk, so that your body gets back. You will have loose motion and the bright eyes, no worry. That is the symptom that you are clean. Your stomach is clean. Second, the technique. Before sunrise, after sunset, you need to practice. Visualize as if your whole throat is filled with a poison and try to throw that poison out through the nostrils and mouth, ears and eyes. You need to do it with open eyes. Throw that away intensely. When you begin, do it 108 times with a counting through energy bead, Rudraksha. So within 10 days, reach to the level of morning 21 minutes, evening 21 minutes. You should be able to do. Within 21 days, you will experience the Udanayama, balancing. Within 3 months, you will experience the physical and psychological levitation. Within 5 months, you will be able to float on the water. Your body will become weightless. Very easy to float on the water. After that, you can practice floating on the nails or floating on the thorns, all that. Third instruction, when you want to stop, you should gradually stop by taking lot of buffalo milk and cow milk, so that your body gets balanced, gets into the everyday routine. This is the technique for floating on the water and floating on the thorns, for all these things. Further, there is one more sacred secret technique in the same sutra to decide the time of leaving the body. I will explain that tomorrow. Tomorrow I will talk about that in a very detailed way. I will put all these things on record so that it doesn't get lost. Not only that, yesterday I was sitting and planning, we will go for a pakka professional Siddha, Yoga, Ayurveda, Naturopathy colleges where I'll teach all these samyamas to everybody. I'm tailoring all these samyamas properly for a common man. This science need to be preserved. Not only preserved, at least in one place this should become an energy field. See, in Tibet, in certain village, they have an energy field of living up to 300 years. Anybody who takes birth there and lives there, just they know that they live 300 years. It's in the air. Same way, I'll make this idea of getting physically matured when you want as a air, at least in one campus of our ashram, somewhere in the world outside India. There any children grow up and people who come and live there, just it will become a decision. Do you want semen production in your body or do you want periods in your body? You can decide. Or just do this pranayam and meditation technique, it will not be there, that's it. It will become a simple process, very simple process. This is a great science, our masters had it. So tomorrow I'll explain the samyama for deciding your death by will. I bless you all who are sitting with us at this moment. 726 places, in two-way connection 31 places, in 242 cities in 32 countries. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate and share the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you.
Trust in you, 'cause you know it's best for me to lead a blissful life, a life with no more strife. Can't believe the things I do, just to spend a little time with you. Nothing will compare, I know you will take care.
You're always showing us compassion, your love is endless like an ocean. Nityananda, Nityananda, my life's become a meditation, ever since we had a deep connection. Nityananda, Nityananda. Oh, every time I see you, my consciousness expands. Oh, my heart begins to dance. And every time I think of you, I just start to melt.